Yeah, no, we're fine. I've got them on screen now. You ready? Are we on? Or not? No.
Yes, we are live.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Good afternoon and welcome to the next stream match from the Merıt Park Cyprus tournament. This is the first semi-final of the fighters bracket. So they've both lost one match and whoever loses is out. Whoever wins goes on to the final of the fighters bracket, and tomorrow we'll play Aurélien, what's his surname?
Bonnet.
Aurélien Bonnet of France, who earlier won the undefeated bracket. So we have Frank Stepler from France. He's a 50-year-old Parisian journalist. He's been playing seriously for about, 15 years? Or something?
Yes.
15 years?
Yeah, I think he's 15. Yeah.
And against, he's playing Ofir Balali. He's from Israel, Tel Aviv. Now, he's been playing for a long time, but he's really only in the last 3 or 4 years, we've just been chatting to him, has taken up using computers, understanding extreme gammon, and hoping to improve his game that way. And I'm sorry I forgot to do the introductions at the start. I'm Chris Bray, sometime player, author, columnist, and I'm assisted today.
The one and only Chris Bray, and I am Simon Bargett, delighted to have been invited to share some of my thoughts on this fascinating backgammon match.
And we are assisted by our silicon friend. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Mate Fahir. I'm from Budapest.
Okay, and Mate's been doing a terrific job. So as the players play, he keys everything into XG.
Yeah,
so Simon and I will give you our opinion.
Wait, so we're basically cheating. We can
cheating.
pretend that we know what the right play is.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do, obviously, is commentate on the match, give you some guidance, give you some ideas as we go through. If you haven't been to the Cyprus tournament, highly recommended. This is my first time here, and I've
only 500 players.
Yeah,
so
only 532 players, not busy.
Not much action.
Fantastic deal. Several people are staying on until next Friday to keep the chouette going.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Eric McAlpine is not leaving till Friday.
Oh, right.
Okay. So if you want action, good food, sunshine, terrific hospitality, this is absolutely the place to go. And the equipment is great, and the staff are absolutely wonderful.
That's actually true. They have scorecards, and by every board, it's all set up perfectly. What else do they have?
Oh, the boards are great. I mean, you go, without being overly critical, you go to Monte Carlo, the boards aren't wonderful, they're okay here, they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And they accommodate like 300 matches, or maybe not quite so many, but...
Yeah, there's a large playing room, and the deal includes food and drink all week. So once you pay to stay, that's it, you're done. So really good. And you meet friends from all over the world, which is one of the reasons for playing backgammon. So, yes, it's a cast of the usual suspects to a certain extent, but you meet new people every year as well. So fantastic balance. So we're hoping the players left us after telling us what they did for a living, and they will hopefully take their seat and start play any moment.
Oh yeah, someone's taking photo, that's right.
Yeah, okay, they're probably taking a little photos, selfies, whatever.
So you know what when you watch sports on TV, they always ask who do you think's going to win, and we don't know that much about the players. So I suppose we can't make a judgment, but
yeah, I mean, I was commentating on the earlier final of the undefeated bracket, where Abdullah went off at a great pace, frenetic, very aggressive, and then went completely into a shell from about 3-all onwards, and his play was featured by hardly ever splitting the back checkers early on, which is something that is fundamental to successful backgammon.
You had a 2-1, and
yeah.
Are we speaking loudly enough?
Yeah, you need to check. But
do I need to
I think we're okay.
Right. I'll go right up to the...
But I said earlier, backgammon is fundamentally a representation of war. You have 15 soldiers. You need those 15 soldiers to talk to each other and combine productively, and not to be separated into different camps. So that's part of the basic strategy of backgammon. We'll see how well they apply that. So I wrote a lot of articles using...
I've read them all.
Yeah, good man, Simon. But Sun Tzu wrote one of the best books on backgammon 2,400 years ago, and he didn't even play the game. It's called The Art of War. And a lot of the maxims and things that come from that book are applicable to not only backgammon, but any game that's really a war game, which is what backgammon is.
So to recap, to get here, how many matches have they won exactly? There's going to be like 9.
8 or 9, I would think.
9 or
It depends on
which way they came.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So how far they went in the undefeated.
Yeah.
It largely depends on that.
Yeah.
But both went quite far, so probably 9 or 8
Yeah.
or 10.
Yeah, but if you win this tournament, you've probably won a dozen matches by the end of it, or else 11 probably.
mathematically, so let's say you've got 50% chance of winning each match. It's 50% to the power of 12, which is I can't even calculate it.
It's
not
a lot.
not even a 0.5%.
Well,
is
2
it?
to the 7th is 1%, so
It
halve
just-
that. It's about a quarter
So
of a
then you
percent.
don't feel so hard done by when you
Yeah.
lose.
And always remember, in a tournament,
Oh, they're sitting at
a tournament with 256 players, 255 are going to go home unhappy. So learn how to lose. That's another fundamental lesson of backgammon. They have got the dice on the table, so hopefully we're about to start.
They don't use. So they're not even using a clock.
Yeah, there will be. Oh, actually, they're not. At
No
the
ba-
moment, we can't see a clock.
No baffle box.
No baffle box. Baffle boxes are optional.
Offline.
I just wanted to see how many people are watching.
13. 13.
Well,
That's great.
well worth
No,
doing.
but
It grows.
one thing.
So no clock so far. I don't think they are going to, because it's
It is optional.
preference, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm guessing they're not going to be slow. Beginners matches are the slowest matches in backgammon because they have no model of the game, so they have to think everything through from first principles. Experienced players can play a lot of moves quickly. One of the things we saw in the first match was difficult moves, people not taking much time. So, Ofir from Israel is playing black, and Frank from France is playing white. We are very nearly ready.
So the winner of this will go on to play the winner of the other semi. I don't know who's
It's
in the
Lars
other semi.
Troubold, who's
And
the
Abdullah.
2008 world champion,
Yeah.
and Abdullah, who lost the final of the undefeated bracket. I would have to say, having watched the first match and having seen Lars many times over the years, Lars will start as a relatively strong favourite in the second semi-final.
Yeah. That's a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
the
I would
PRs,
say
I
so.
think, for the first match, Aurelien played round about 6, yeah, and Abdullah played 10, PR of 10. So 6 is quite high, actually, for the final of a major tournament. You would really good players will, on average, play to 4, and the best 30, 40 in the world will be 3 and below. And there aren't many of them, whatever anybody tells you.
Although there seem to be more and more every time you come to a tournament. You
Yeah.
think, oh, he plays like.
Okay, we have a clock. We are ready to rock. Here we go.
Okay.
A quick tutorial about how to use the clock. A quick introduction.
Okay, so they have.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're being taught how to use the clock. They have 2 minutes per point, so this is an 11-point match. That's 22 minutes, and 12 seconds per move.
Well, I would make the
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I would make the 5-point here because of the black inner point block. For 3, so the 3 is forced, and he's going to come up with 4.
He would have, of course, hit.
Yeah.
He would have hit on the 8.
Yeah.
So they're going to play fast.
Okay,
it's
4-2.
obvious.
There's no decision on that one. If it's clear, you should never waste too much time. Now 5-3 is going to be more difficult. This to me looks like 2 checkers to the 8 point, so nothing gets put out of play. He's got an exposed blot in his opponent's board.
Yeah, you don't want to leave this shot. No.
I think this is too big, and
you
also
don't
that
wanna
checker
leave
doesn't
a
belong there.
3-4, a 6-1,
Yeah.
or a 5.
Yeah.
You just don't want to.
That's extra shots for no value. And
Because now, look.
now
there's this-
that blot
the
on the
blot,
11 point
yeah.
could hurt him. 3-1, he needs to come in, which he has. Ooh. Now this needs
possibly this.
again played very quickly.
I probably would have done that.
Okay.
This could have been a cube.
Could have been a cube. I don't think it's quite a cube.
I think I might.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they're playing so fast.
They're playing
mean,
incredibly fast.
this is not.
No thought yet.
Okay.
Now
This is going to be.
this is going to be
pass.
one. This is now Black has overrun his own position. So
No, this
although
is
he is ahead in the race, his position
this
is
has got
poor.
to be
He
a
needs
cube.
to
He's
think.
not even thinking. This has got to. It's
He's gotta
probably a
think.
pass.
Whoa! And now he's killed his. He's going to make the bar, I think, because I can't see any other way of playing.
He
the
could
sixth
possibly
one.
slot the 3, but I would make the bar.
Right. So without an ace or a 2-5 or a 1-6.
But Frank's not going to double. He's just going to play
Yeah,
on because he didn't even think about.
Ooh.
Maybe that's part of his strategy.
Yeah.
To
2-5.
This is a hit. Now this
Whoa.
is not a cube, so
That
he's
is
right
now
to play
not a
on.
cube, yeah.
He's right to play. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Double 4.
What does
1.
this could do stuff.
Either makes 2 point or plays safely.
Oh,
Yes, he's seen the options.
I didn't see make the 2.
I think it's probably too big actually, because I think it keeps the checkers in play better.
I don't know.
So he can play 13 to 5 and 10 to 6.
I think I would-
okay,
I think
yeah,
I would
maybe
do-
this is right.
How many
So
did
this
he
is a
play?
broken prime.
I thought he had one more.
No, he came in with one.
Okay, that hits. Well,
Hits.
they're playing fast. It's too fast
Wow.
for me.
So, okay, this seems sensible. But
Obvious. So Frank is
now he
still
needs
in
a number that doesn't crack his prime. That'll do.
He's still
46 comes in and out.
strong
Okay.
position.
Still not thinking about anything. So this is, he should now make the point.
Cannot come up, I would-
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see the 2 coming up. Oh, thinking time.
This
Thinking time.
is,
What's the
this
race?
is close.
Black is 27 pips up in the race. And
Don't know if this is a double.
yeah, this is a double. This is absolutely a
Tiny
double.
double, XG says.
Yeah, okay.
He's never
But-
passing this, surely.
This has got to be a take.
Frank
He has to escape the 4-point prime. He has to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 checkers in.
Frank just looks like a guy that doesn't pass. So
Yeah.
that's maybe he's
Yeah.
maybe he's actually a passer. Maybe it's just a. But well, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, it was not right to make a 2-point. Interesting. Okay, he's passed. Now that should tell Ofir something. Always look at the cube habit of your opponent. If you don't know your opponent, test him out with some early cubes. It may not technically be a double, but you can always test him out. I once played a guy in the British Championship, which that year was held in Spain, and I doubled him early in the first game and he dropped, so I tried it for the next 4 games. I doubled ridiculous positions. I was 5-0 up without having done anything. So it can be done.
I don't think. I mean, it was a double, but I don't think
It
I
was
would have
nowhere
doubled.
near a pass.
I don't think I would have doubled that even. So
Yeah.
6-5, 5-3 makes the 3 points. So Frank can kind of run with any 6. Makes
Make
the
4.42. I don't know. Hopefully the rolls are clear to everybody watching, but we might call most of them out. That's double 1, which is going to make the bar point and the 5 point.
This is not so good.
No, this is 4. So again, that was 4-2 and not much choice. 2 checkers down. Black would love to hit one of them, and he can do. And I would imagine that that is correct. He always want the second checker back, so he's hit with double 2. Not an elegant entering number. He needs to think about the 5.
you can't give a 2 and a 6-4 and a double aces. You have to say no.
I would never do this. This would be close.
Ah, here we go.
And
Nice early cue.
Again, this is nowhere near a pass. I don't know
No,
if it's a
it's
double.
nowhere near a double. Nowhere near a pass.
I don't know if it's.
What's that?
He's passed again.
He's passed? Now this is seriously odd.
Oh, so the 5-1 was. The 5-1 was correct.
Yeah, you need to keep the checkers in play, I think.
I would not
It's the
have done
object
that.
lesson. So he's got 2 early passes that were both very clear.
So I was totally wrong. Frank passes rather than takes.
Yeah. So this could be tournament fear.
3-2, a bit unconventional.
Ooh, that's a very unconventional 3-2. Normally hitting on the ace point is at least to be considered.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to make the 5 point. He's not hopefully going to do the double
Or
tiger
could,
play.
or you could make a 9.
Yeah, no,
but this looks right.
As we said in the early commentary, if you can make the 5 point, make it, and then think afterwards what you could have done.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this just makes.
I would just make the bar point here, because then his sixes, some of his sixes are really quite ugly. Oh, okay.
This cannot be right.
No, that's wrong. So that was an error. So now he comes in the 3 point and diversifies the checkers on his 6 point.
Yeah. So Frank just needs to point on.
They need to slow down. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody can play backgammon at this speed efficiently. Okay, this is knockabout backgammon in the semi-final of a major tournament, and they have 22 minutes thinking time, which they are not using.
Like that play.
Run away.
Out.
Yeah.
Maybe just 20 and.
No,
20 and
I
8.
come out because.
I like this.
All right, Simon likes down. Yeah, Simon wins on this one, according to our silicon friend.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000. No,
No, this is
no, yeah.
Yeah, 3,000.
That
Yeah,
hits
3-2.
and goes to the 7, I suppose.
I think you go to the 7 to avoid the 6 return. Yeah, 6 is black's only bad number, so you don't want to give him a good one. So
Double
1,
three is good.
2, and make the 10
So
point.
obviously Ofir was being slightly modest. He can obviously
He can
play
play.
the checkers
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and
he's being
smoothly.
aggressive with the cube.
Yeah.
Now this is ugly.
It's dunces on the deuce.
So
This
you
is
can't
make-
see anything better than making the 2 point. So sometimes you just have to accept what the dice give you.
This
Oh,
hits.
he's in form. Okay.
So is Frank
So-
going to pass another?
I don't know, but if he doesn't roll a 3, we're going to have an interesting moment.
Wow.
Okay, 1.
That's not bad.
Yeah, comes up to the 4 point. This is double 2, comes up to the 4 point and makes his own 4 point. Comes up to his opponent's 4 point. There is no other logical 2.
Yeah, there's no other other
Right.
2.
So at least he doesn't double this one. That's not a pretty move. So runs away with his exposed block because he's going to get attacked probably in Frank's home board.
This hits.
Oh, he hits outside with a 4-3. Okay, so now the game's got a little bit equalised, provided Ofir can anchor, or at least come in. He's at least come in 1, and the only logical 6 is to come out. Everything else exposes 2 blocks.
I don't think this is anything, but can be. quite
Oh, and now
deserving.
here comes QB, to quote Paul McGreal.
Easy take.
Trivial
so a
take. Was
small
it a
no
double?
or a big
Small.
no double? That hits anyway.
Okay. So he didn't have
So
that
you
many
can see
market
he's
losing.
hit,
Yeah.
and he's got a lot of work
He's
to
got
do.
a lot of work
He's
to
got
do.
an open 22,
And he's
20
just been hit back.
Right.
And he has what they call a Swiss cheese board, every other point being made, which is mathematically not very good.
That hits, I suppose.
Now we're going for an exchange of hits, and we'll see what happens when the dust clears. Okay, so probably he's going to come in and make his...
I would.
Oh, you could hit,
Hit.
sorry. Yeah, you might want a tempo play here. So taking half your opponent's roll away is a good
You
idea.
have to hit, otherwise he rolls
Yeah,
double
the-
5, 5, 4. No, I would not do
I
this.
think this is very passive. This allows white time to play, and that's one thing you
I think you
don't
just
want
have
to do in
you just
backgammon.
have to give the shots.
Yeah,
and
I didn't see the
it's
outside
so-
hit.
it's
Sorry.
su- such a game.
Yeah. Okay, now what? 3. You smacking again?
I don't like to hit again in board. And you've got 4 men back.
Yeah,
You
but
might be
he's
right.
got 3 exposed blocks.
You might be right. I'm not good
Yeah.
at these.
You got to hit, I think. You got to hit? Yeah, you got to hit. So by only hitting 1, if he rolls an
Yeah,
odd
yeah,
number,
it's
okay, now he's fanned with a double 6, which is not great. So white's play looks good. But again, aggression is a wonderful thing in backgammon. This is not fantastic. He's going to...
Well, you make the
Oh,
ace.
sorry, it is pretty good. 3 checkers on the bar. Ignore that remark. Okay, so Ofir definitely needs to roll 4 checkers
Four
on the
checkers
bar.
on the bar.
He needs a 3 desperately. And he rolls 2-1. The wrong
so
3.
5s are duplicated, so he doesn't want to roll 6s and 4s. and
Fives,
shit.
no,
okay, he
five's
rolls an
good.
immediate 5.
Now he needs to
He
think
should-
about
Well, he should come up.
unduplicating his numbers.
He should come
He
up.
comes up to give himself 4s and 6s to escape, which is correct.
Okay, this looks like.
This looks like a
4-2.
gammon unless something very
Frank's going
strange
4-2.
happens.
I might even be able to.
He can't.
Go
So I would come in, this is 2-1, I would come into the 6 point and slide to the 11 point. There won't be a huge difference between the plays on this. Okay, so he's given himself a 5-2 as opposed to a 6-1. He doesn't get any additional cover numbers because he hasn't got double 5. Double 6 is okay. But this must be a tiny play, whatever. Yeah, looking at XG, there's only 5/1000ths of an equity point, irrespective of what he does here. So shouldn't consume too much brain power on this one.
Yeah.
Fans again.
There's another checker to be picked up, waiting there.
Ooh.
Crackage.
Double 2, so one of his checkers has gone beyond, so he should bring one to the... No. Okay, so he's giving himself a good 2, or he can give himself a good 2 or a good 1.
So threes and 2s are going to crack. So if he rolls like threes come out.
3s come out, 4s come out,
So there's only
5s
2s.
come out, 6s come out. So anything other than 1s and 2s he wants here. 3-1. Finally gets a checker out. Yeah. Okay, slow progress. Ooh, and he's just cocked a 5, so that would have been 1 checker in, but he has 1 checker in.
Might be able to anchor.
Yeah, he might be able to anchor, and white may not necessarily be able to hit loose here. I think because there are so few cover numbers, this is correct.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, you could have picked him past that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Would have played that.
Double 6. So fans
In the 5 seconds that he's making his decisions, I
Yes.
would have made the same.
Okay, so now that's
beautiful.
1.
You switch. I always switch.
Now, because there are 5 checkers on the bar, you may want to lift the 2 on the 6 because he's got time anyway. 1, 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You want the gap at the front or whatever, the back or the front, whichever way so that you can. No. I don't do that.
No, either you make the 5
But
point.
it's not going to be that.
Yeah, it's not going to be a huge error, but I can't think that's
Maybe
right.
it's right.
Okay, 5 checkers up. Okay, so now black is actually in backgammon danger territory with 5 checkers back. He wins a few more games because he gets a very late shot, but he loses more backgammons.
Well, maybe like
I don't know what the percentage is.
18% backgammons or something.
Yeah,
With
it
5
might not be that
checkers.
high, but now is that coming up? Okay, so 5s and 6s bearing on them. Okay, fans again, still 5 checkers on the bar. He's very fond of his 2 1s.
I know he's coming up.
He can give himself double 3 by playing 10 to 8 and then coming up with the 1, but
Double 4,
he
double
could.
5.
It's
either one
interesting
can
as to whether he
come
should
in.
kill his own 6s here. So he slows himself down if he can't stay, if he can't get out. These positions require a lot of study. 5-2, so he's going to pick and pass here because he sensibly has no covers, so there's no point leaving it slotted. And again, still 5 checkers on the bar now, 4 or 6. 3-2, now we begin to get into the area where he could crack.
So this saves a 4-1
and a 5-2.
and a 5-2.
So this is correct. He cracks more slowly. Okay, Ofir has lost the ability to roll any 5s whatsoever. 6-4. So,
That's an illegal
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
I had a feeling he wasn't going to correct it. I just thought they're playing so quickly.
double 4, wrong double. So double 6 leaves a shot. 5-3 is fairly good. Now only 6-5 next time will leave a shot. He's going to bear that checker in.
It's a pretty good structure, I think.
Yes, once
So
he clears the
he's
6
cleared
point.
the 5 already.
Yep.
And it's only 2 shots, so.
Double 5, so okay. So he's got slight danger next time from doubles. He'd like to roll something with a 1, but now his backgammon win rate has gone up appreciably.
Not a good number, I suppose, double 5, because it just doesn't
2 and
take
1.
the checkers off.
So you've got a choice here. You can, and this is something where you can take a risk by taking 2 checkers off, or you can play it completely safe. And I have no idea,
I don't know.
without doing some analysis as to what is correct. Because the backgammon is so close, it may be right to rip 2 checkers off here.
My instinct is to lift the 4 point, then you have a nice balanced.
Okay. XG likes clearing the 4 point because then you've got even numbers all the way through.
Yeah, you can, and then you can have a fast
2
pair
off, 1 off is
Let's
is
say you
too
roll
aggressive.
like 3s, 4s, 5s,
Yeah,
and 6s,
yeah, yeah.
like, and then you
Yeah.
roll. You're gonna.
So far he hasn't. He lifted and nothing's happened yet. He lifted and took 1 off. Yeah.
So
Okay.
backgammon.
Yeah.
Backgammon must be like 30 something at least. I'm never good at.
So this is going to be
What does
2
he do
checkers
here?
off, double 2. There's nothing else you can do.
you
I don't think you could clear, but then you've got immediate jeopardy. So 1 checker in. Well done, Ofir. Oh, good number. Yeah, I think
Not
really you can.
sure.
Well, I think you can.
Yeah, I probably.
It might have been right to clear the 3 point, and that was a huge swing
Wait,
because
so
Ofir rolled double
must
3.
be a favourite to win. Must
He's now a
be.
huge favourite to win backgammon
Massive.
because every time he's favourite to roll a 1 or a 2 and not get one of the checkers in.
So
That's 4-2, so he's got 1
he's
checker
often
in.
3.
Yeah, and he needs
So it's
3, 4,
basically a
7
backgammon.
crossovers.
Unless he rolls like a.
If he stays on the bar, he could get an ace shot, or he will get an ace shot unless Frank rolls a double here at some point. There is the double, here is the ace shot. Okay, so any 1 to make the game more interesting, otherwise this is a backgammon, which only happens 1% of the time. And he's rolled the ace. So now this game could be a long commentary. So now
this is good for the PR.
this is good. It's
For
good
Frank's
for PR,
PR.
and it's also good for
Frank's PR, not
yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah. 2 and 1. So Ofir needs to stop and think just for a moment as to where he's going to build his prime. Obviously, he needs to build it at the moment from the 4 point to the 10 point. His first priority is to hit. Does that hit? Yes, it does. So he plays 23 to 7, hitting. Okay. So obviously he needs to keep hitting, build the prime. So if he can build the bar point, that's a 1. Ideally he needs a 3 or a 1 to make the bar point. There's the 1, out with the 5, yeah. So now he needs to make the 8 point. Yeah. Now he may have to hit depending on what he rolls. I never know what to do with these. He can't make the 8 point, so he should hit and then spring the 8 out.
Yeah.
From the 21 point, sorry, the 6. So get loads of outfield. I'm not sure about this move.
I wouldn't do that.
That check has gone too deep too early. There's a long way to go here.
So you'll see, Mate will see that the PR, that Frank's PR is. Oh, they're forced moves, aren't they? No, they're forced. I'm talking rubbish.
No decisions.
But Ofir, assuming he doesn't do this.
He's switch points. I think this is. I would have kept the 4 prime. Now it's difficult because you have to remake it. It's worked so far. Now ideally he'd like to make the 10 point for coverage. Yeah.
For double 5?
Yeah. It stops it. Again, when you're black and you're playing this sort of position, you need to look at how your opponent's doubles work, and you need to block those doubles even if it's a long way away.
And you probably need to
This is one of the lessons that TD Gammon taught us very early on, the first ever computer bot. It made weird plays, and then people worked out it was blocking doubles, and somehow it seemed to win more games than the humans. So it was a lesson learnt. Okay, Frank's having a spell on the bar. I think he's got to give the 6-5 here. Bring another builder. The other alternative is to just spring all the checkers into the outfield and provide massive outfield coverage. Again, XG quite often doesn't like leaving even a single indirect, but I think in this circumstance I would do this. Yeah. Okay, so all of Frank's moves will be forced for the next 20 minutes. That's a great number, 5-2, making the. 5 point. Oh, 2-5. Hope for our man from France. He needs a 3 or a 4. That's a 3. That's good. You learn early on, most of the time you get closed out in these positions, you just have no flexibility as the player of the single checker. And say no skill position. So again, he needs maximum coverage. I wouldn't make the ace point here. I would go 22 to 12, yeah? 13, sorry, yeah. So again, you've got to build a prime in order, very important. Okay, so any 4 or 6 gives him a 5-point prime, and then work on the next point, which will either be the 2-point or the 8-point. That's the 6. Okay. So one more point to make. And again, now he's going to have to hit. He can't afford, because he can't block double 6s. So, ooh, now he needs to stop a moment and think.
He can block 6s, but
Can he?
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3. He could block double 6. Yes.
He's not there.
He's going to go for the outfield coverage. He's probably right to play against 10 rolls rather than 1.
Yeah.
But double 6 wins a
Yeah.
backgammon here.
Yeah, but no, he doesn't roll that.
5-1.
He's a
Okay,
gentleman.
yeah. He would love a 2. That's not a 2. Do you hit?
Probably.
I would hit. Now he needs 2 numbers. He has to come in and then get out. Whoa! 1 roll too late. He's just rolled double 6.
What? So he would have.
Yeah, he would.
He would have backgammon.
Yeah. Okay, so the 5 is clear. You make the point, and then you bring another cover for the bar point. Yep.
Is it bad?
So now you slot the bar point. So a lot of the time, again, the computer. Oh, 1-6 from the bar. Where have you heard that before? 4s, 6s, and yeah, that's the 4. Bring double coverage. Yep.
So, I mean, it's just kind of routine, even when
Yeah.
Black's going to close him out.
Yep. Black will close
and
it
then
out.
Frank is basically going to win either I mean, all the time, maybe a single game. He's not really going to. I can't see him backgammon him.
I lost the final of the Cotswolds tournament from this position as white. So double match point. So
It's like
Black has 7%.
3%.
No, 7%.
7, okay.
7%. Okay, that's he has time to arrange his checkers correctly, so that the spares are on the 6, 5, and 4, or the 6, 5, and the 3.
What's happened here?
He's closed down. He's just working out how to play double 1.
Oh, I thought they were.
Yeah, no. So, okay, so the game's going to go on for a few more minutes while he runs around the board and finally closes him out. You get the odd game where Black suddenly rolls a horrible double 5 and fails to close his opponent out, but those are few and far between. So hopefully you can roll a 6 here and we can get on with the game. Yeah, there we go. Now he just needs to think about where he's going to put his checkers.
So he hit the clock before he played.
Yeah, okay, I think he's just been told off. Okay, so when you're running around the board, you don't want your checkers on the same point in different quadrants, because that gives you less flexibility.
Now double 6, they all go to the ace point.
Yeah.
So you want your checkers on the 12 point.
As soon as you can get them.
All on the 12
now
point.
That wants to come in 5. Doesn't matter about leaving a double 6. Flexibility
So
is much more the issue.
Now the problem is that's a good
4,
roll. 'Cause
and
it puts
I
them
would
all-
slide it actually to now double 6 actually leaves a horrible position. But
That's a
he's got to
good
over that,
roll.
so that's fine. It's probably right in this position.
Best roll must be 6-5.
6-5 would be good. There you go,
Good
6-5.
rolls.
So winning percentage is
Best
increasing
roll.
all the time. Double 1's good here.
Not boxes.
4-3.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
I'd
this is
do
fine.
this.
Yeah, this is right, I think.
'Cause it's
4-3 is
4-2-4-1
cleared.
background.
Oh, 4-3. We've removed some of the
Okay,
excitement
so
from
he's
the
still
game.
got like
Yeah.
9% or something.
Yeah.
Not
Needs to roll 2 sets, and white needs to roll small numbers.
So Ofir's playing. We
3-1.
can see his PR is playing really, really well so far.
5 and 3.
He's playing
Okay.
3.7.
So he still has chances to win. Now they are diminishing. He needs 2 sets, while Frank rolls a 2-1 or a 3-1. And that's not good. Even 2-1 is good enough. Okay, game over. 4-2.
No break.
No break. They're going to play on.
Guessing. Yeah, so Ofir's PR's down to 3.6. Someone who came and said he doesn't
Play very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We suspected.
Yeah. So he's obviously been playing and training with XG a lot, and he's obviously naturally talented as well.
It's obviously what he does at the airport.
Yeah.
He's,
He works
behind
somewhere
the
near
desk.
the airport in Tel Aviv, so he must have a lot of free time. I hope I'm not insulting him then.
No, not at all. Or all his friends. That's,
Right, 2-all.
so that's obviously a huge swing.
Yeah. That was a massive swing. That was an 4-point swing.
Well, it could have been a backgammon.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 men. So
Yeah.
instead of you won 2 instead of 6.
Oh, the
so
unconventional all the way out.
hello. I'm not sure I approve of that. Okay, 6-2. Yeah.
That hits, yeah.
Yeah.
This-
4-1. In, down. Okay. No excitement yet.
Points going to be
No, he
made.
needs 4-3.
That'll do.
No, cock dice, sorry. 6-2 makes the 4-point. Oh, sorry, it hits outside. Yeah. Ooh, 2.
What do you do here?
Can we do this?
Maybe.
22-18.
No, it's slightly
Yeah,
wrong.
I think you've got to come up. You've got to come up and try and make the bar. Now he's going to make the 5-point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you could
the other
you could
way
make
he'd
a
have.
nine.
Even
this
if you
must
made
be
it.
right.
So.
But this is doubling territory, no? Oh, he's got here.
Oh, he's got a shot.
What about now?
2-6.
He's got 6s, 3s, 2 5s.
He's
Not
got an
quite
anchor
there.
though.
That hits.
Now, if Frank rolls awkwardly, the cube is certainly something to think about. That
This
is something
must be
awkward.
a cube. I mean, 2s and 3s and 5s.
Fives.
And obviously a take. He's thinking.
Yeah. So this is sort of position that
Always-
when you're trailing you want.
Always get credit for thinking,
Yeah.
even if you don't double.
Yeah. I'm
So
doubling.
it's a
I'm doubling this.
75 double. It's
We're
only
doubling?
a
Yeah.
56 take.
XG wants us to double, so there you go.
Well, because you've got your numbers are all
Yeah.
diversified,
Yeah.
and you've got some kind of crushers, 5s and 3s, and
It's also, it takes white so long to
Double
build a
hitters.
reasonable position.
and even when you miss the blot
Yeah.
on the 2-point, he's
It
got
doesn't
the
matter.
blot on the 2-point.
Yeah. So,
No.
you've got to take the advanced anchor here. He's rolled 3-1, so this is a time then you don't make the 5
Now
points.
this has got to be.
and you
hitting
don't hit,
must be
you cannot.
bad.
Yeah, hitting must be awful.
Only 100.
You've got to make the advanced anchor,
But if you-
which he has done. So he's
And
played that well.
This probably is.
No, it's not a double,
double.
because there's no market losing sequence.
No,
So as soon as you get into a high anchor game, the game becomes
No,
far less volatile.
XG did like the double.
Yeah, no, he should have doubled. He didn't, and now he's going to have to take a while before he can double. So
No, this is a cube for sure. This is a
It's a
big
cube?
Yeah, he's got 2 blots.
3-1. So diversify.
No, XG.
Ooh. Oh, he's got 2 blots. White has 2 blots in board, so he can take the opportunity to make the bar point.
Yeah. No, I don't like this. When you've got 2 blots.
Now your opponent will make a couple of points in board, and you've got more risk
or
later.
6-3 and double 3 make the bar. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want him to.
Is that right? That's good.
Okay. This
Oh, 6. Well,
this
now you see the advantage of the play.
I don't see how he can take this.
Is he going to give up now? This is definitely a double.
Whatever he does. Okay, he does this. Maybe
so
this.
now he has to double.
You've got 5s, 2s, and 3s.
Here it comes.
Is this a take? What are you going to say, Chris?
He's on the bar, so I'm actually going to guess that this is a take. Take?
Let's see.
Yes, it's a take, but it's only just.
Good guess.
That's
It's
good.
17.
Yeah.
It's like right on the line.
Right on the line, and we've already seen.
I think they
him
might
pass-
take a break.
Well, he's already passed 2 doubles that were
No break.
not difficult decisions. So
But he missed.
he missed it. He should have cubed early there. So classic backgammon. He's won 1 point. Potentially he could have won 4. Kit Woolsey will always tell you that
Or
the way
lost
he
8.
became successful at backgammon was to turn 1s into 4s. So you've got to choose the right moment to double. This is a known play, 6-2-1, so hit and split. Okay. This is something that beginners find difficult. They don't understand the risk, or they hate the risk of hitting, but they don't understand it takes away half your opponent's roll. So he can't make a point unless he rolls doubles. So now this is great. Now is he going to hit?
Yeah.
It's early in the game. I would still hit.
I thought I felt a 5-4 coming. Maybe
Did you?
2-6.
Was the force with you?
2-3.
Now he's anchored. Now your opponent has an advanced anchor. Black would like an advanced
Well,
anchor.
5-2. Well, 5-3
I'm going
is
to take
easy.
the advanced anchor. Very advanced anchor.
Double aces would be nice.
6-3. Ooh,
That
that's
just
ugly. That is so
probably
ugly.
slots the 3. I don't know. 4, I mean.
6-3. That you can't. Yeah, I would slot the 4 here. It duplicates Black's 2s. Starts a good point.
This is tricky.
He's behind in the race, so I wouldn't
There's
run out
lots
the
of
rear
plays.
checker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It dupes the 2. Double 5. Is
Double 5.
Massive.
Wow. Run away for another day.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Played quickly. Good. Okay.
Ooh. Counter. Double 3 makes 2 points.
So what's only 124, 148. He's got to be like down in the race as well.
5-4. So he's not going to leave any shots here. He's just going to use his points to land on. This position is not difficult to play from either side. Right? Everyone has a very clear plan. Black's just trying to clear. White's going to try and make his points in order in his inner point board.
He can make the deuce.
No, just make the deuce. You might get a shot at some point. So, yeah.
Chris,
fine.
I've noticed something that you're not looking. You're refraining from looking at this, the XG
Yeah.
evaluation. You're trying to test yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
It's the
don't
only way to
wanna-
do it.
Well, I'm glancing constantly just to. keep
So,
up.
would you come out here?
Yeah.
I'd like to keep the mid for
You've
a
got
moment
no,
longer. Yeah, and
you've
he's
got no
basically that
play?
checker is not going to be hit unless it can be
Oh.
hit safely. No, we don't like that too.
Well, there's no other 2. Is there
6 to
another
4. I just want to keep a 6, good 6 to start the 2 point.
Maybe you just play 2
nice.
down as well. I don't know.
I don't want to give up the midpoint until I have to,
don't
and
know
I
what
think the
the
checker
play
on the
is.
4 point
I
was.
don't know what the
Ooh,
play is.
ooh. Now this is where this is wrong. You just play safely here. You can play 13 to 11
how-
and 2 to 1.
But how far ahead is he in the race?
What's the
if
race?
at all?
Nobody's ahead in the race, basically. So the race is dead level. So again, no one's going to be taken. Now he has
Okay,
to think about
this looks right.
Whoa!
No, that looks right. That looks right.
Yeah?
If it's level,
If it's level,
then he can get like a.
like this. So he's certainly coming out. The question is whether he stays on the bar. Because if he's level, I think he should stay on the bar.
Oh, he's level after the roll.
What's the race?
No, he's up.
8
If he's
pips
8 up, for
after the
sure,
roll.
he should be coming up to the 16
Yeah.
because it gives him
Yeah.
a good double.
So the roll, having the roll in backgammon is worth 4 pips. So normally white is actually 4 pips ahead here. So he's now 6 pips behind after that 6-4. I would slot the 4. You don't want to make the bar. The bar's irrelevant other than clearing a checker off the 11 point. 5-3. Okay, no excitement. So white's rolling ready for 5-3, 6-3, clearing his thing.
So like, who is? There's no favourite.
There's no favourite
here.
here.
I mean, it's like really.
4-2.
Although
Black
Frank's
should-
got
yeah.
a board
Black,
which might.
yeah, but black is going to build a few points here. So unless white rolls 6-3, 5-3, double 3, there's going to be no excitement. What's the percentage? We don't even know what the. Can you just click on there and see what the percentage? Yeah, what the winning chances are. Can you see what the winning chances are?
You need to go to detailed view, right click.
57%.
Oh, you've got
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry. Of course.
So
Mate knows
Frank
exactly.
is favourite basically because he's on roll and he is 6 pips ahead.
You like this?
Oh right, so
Oh.
black is favourite.
Oh,
right?
5-3, great roll. So now, no, white's favourite because he's ahead in the race.
White's favourite now.
Yeah.
Does Frank just know the race, or is he sort of?
He was counting.
He was counting, yeah. Everyone thinks it's really difficult to count at backgammon. I know lots of people who are very...
What was that? What was
5-3.
5-3. Play
13-5.
13-5. 6-5. What do you do? Just
2
play-
down.
I play.
Oh
5
yeah,
and
start. Sorry,
yeah.
6 down. Start the 3
Can't be
point.
much in it,
So
though.
6-5. Okay. Double 6.
Huge.
Probably the end of the
Huge.
game. So he needs at least 9 pips. That is not 9 pips.
So what is it?
Oh, yeah, sorry,
72, 88.
no.
74, 88.
Yes, it's over.
This is full.
Okay, so this is a 19 pip race.
It's like 87, 13.
Yeah.
This would be like a point.
Okay, so he's going to drop this. He might bluff for a moment and think and do some exotic count, but he's going to drop this. dropped. It's 3-all. We have an 8-point match.
Ofir played perfectly. Break.
Yeah. Break. Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're still there, and we will be back
I
in
might take a break.
10 minutes or so. Carter said, can you kill the microphone? Okay, welcome back. The break is over. Simon Barget's popped out for a moment, so it's Chris Bray here on my own. If you're interested in statistics for the first 3 games, Ofir has played with a PR of 3.28, which is brilliant. Frank has struggled and has a PR of 12.54. So if things continue this way, you have to favour Ofir, who's just started with a 6-4. The luck factor, again, another statistic provided by XG, there is none. They've had equal luck so far. So 5-3. So here I would come in 5, come up 3. This is okay.
Sorry, please, sorry, thank you. What's the next?
6-4.
No, but where was the 3?
Six.
Oh, here was the 3 here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
6-4. What after 6-4?
3-6.
3-6.
Okay. So he's come in with 3 point. He has a
Please.
6 to play.
Thank you.
Okay, so he's duplicated the 2s, which looks correct, while keeping pressure on the blot on the 4 point. So here I would make the point and hit loose on the 3 point. So that's the 2, and he should hit, which is the 3. Okay. Okay, so now he has a nice position here. Well, sorry, nice roll, 2-5. He can make the 9 points, so he's got a single back blot. Okay. Tactic for Frank here is to attack that rear blot. He doesn't have a double in this position because black's position is solid, other than that one weakness. 6-5, he's probably going to attack and, yeah, so hit and cover. Standard tactic against a single checker is to attack. You prime an anchor, you attack a lone checker. 2-5 again, it's probably, he's going to have to hit here to take the tempo away from white. So plays the only logical 5. So double 2, so he comes in. I'm guessing he's going to make the 5 point, and now he has to think about the 4th one. So he can come up with, I wouldn't split from the 24 point because that gives too many numbers. He's elected, I think, he wants to attack that lone checker. So he's brought the checker down with that in mind, but Ofir's roll double 6, which is a great roll. Now, logically, I think he needs to play 23 to 11 and make the 2 point. They will then. It doesn't give anything away. When you're playing against a 4 point board, you really giving unnecessary fly shots is not what you want to do. Here, he only leaves 5-6 if he makes a 2 point. This, I believe, is wrong because to give him an ace here plus 3-6 and 4-6 is too big. Here, he only leaves 2 numbers. Or one number which can occur in any of 2 ways, 5-6. So let's see what he rolls. 2-6. So sometimes your opponent fans and you get a bonus. So he doesn't have the structure for a double as yet. So now the question is, he can do this. He can play totally safe, but I think this is right. So he's still giving a 5-6. He's rolled 5-2. Has to come in on the 5. Now the question is, do you come out to the bar so that if you get hit, your 5 point isn't made at the same time? I believe this is the correct play. He's come out to the bar. Yeah. So again, this is no double. His opponent's board is far too strong. He needs something like double 1, 6-1. Now here's a choice. You can make the bar point, which leaves 3-1, 4-1, 5-1 and double 1, so 7 return numbers, or he can just do this, which I think is again the correct play. I would not have hit. Yep. 6-3. Okay, so now we have a bar point holding game. Okay, again, so these positions are easy to play. 2-1, so he's going to play safely until he can't play safely. If he can't play safely, he'll probably hit the block to take the tempo away. So white can't afford to crunch his board. The one thing you learn here is you never kill a checker. So he's going to have to give up the midpoint, I would suggest here. He's going to play 13 to 7-2, making a 5 point prime. So he's ready to hit. At the right moment, he may have to even release the blot on the 24 point so that he then plays a pure bar point holding game. But he doesn't have to give it up yet. my rule of thumb is that if there are still gaps, then you don't need to advance the rear checker. So this is a great roll, 5-4. I would not do this. Okay, so I think he needs to bring 2 checkers down. His biggest problem is clearing the midpoint. Okay, so hopefully that was right. Good, yeah, that's XG rates that play as a joker. So he's going to slot the 2 point and move the other checker on his side of the board. It's the race. So black is up 30 pips in the race. Now he begins to have numbers that lose his market. So are we doubling? There are some market losing, even if he makes he needs to make a point here, but he's threatening to make a lot of points. He is doubling. I would double this. Yeah, okay.
It's very, very
big double.
close.
Yeah, so this is, now based on what we've seen in the match so far, Frankie's going to drop this because he's dropped 2 doubles that weren't even doubles and 1 double that was quite close. So yeah, and he has dropped it. So I don't know how much Ofir is into the psychology of backgammon, but he's played his man absolutely perfectly so far. That 5-4 was an absolutely wonderful roll. Oh, Simon's come back.
No Carter?
No Carter. We're awaiting Carter Mackey, the great American commentator.
Okay, well,
but
as soon as
he's deep in a
Carter-
massage.
As soon as I see 1 hair of Carter, I'm going to be vacating the seat for his.
Yeah, he missed another really well played game by Ofir. He cubed at just the right moment. It was technically a very small take, but needless to say, based on the experience of the match so far, it was dropped.
Ofir is in the zone.
Yeah, and Matthew's just told us that Lars Trabolt is winning the other semi-final 8-2, which is really no surprise.
Please tell us the percentages now.
Sorry, the percentage?
The percentages of,
What?
Lars winning.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Wait, how do you play this though?
Oh, double 3. Sorry. Do you hit or do you? Ooh, double 3. Wow.
Just hit
So
him up.
that checker's not there, is it? He's moved 1. Is that right?
3 to play.
He's got 3 to play. So
I think you have to hit and come up.
you can hit and come up.
You
You
can do
can
this.
make
Oh,
2.
yeah,
You
this
can
is
make
the
2
idea.
points in board. You can make the 3 point. or
If you do this, you make the 5 point.
Yeah. I don't like the temp. That structure is ugly. Now the checkers on the 6 point have got to go somewhere at some point.
This could be.
This is. I never.
Because
Sometimes I play these and XG just says you're an idiot. Okay, so.
Oh, my play
He
was
Simon wins this one. He should have come up and should have hit and come up. So it's turned out nice again for him. So he's playing well and
reaping
I don't
the
think that
benefits.
was that double 3 a big error? No, it's just an error.
Reaping the
but
benefits. If he can get a
4-3.
5-2,
No, he's
here,
anchored. He's anchored.
if he can roll
Yeah.
a 5-2, a nice little 5-2, this is what I would be rooting for. That's all I ask. That's not so good. I don't think you make the 5 here.
So Lars Trabolt is currently 83% to win the other semi-final, based on his lead of 8-2.
Thank you.
Okay.
But that doesn't include his.
But that doesn't
skill
include the
advantage.
skill level, so he's probably about 90% to win. So, good
This
time,
has
no,
gotta
bad time
be
to fans.
8
So let's have a
away.
look at this. 8 away.
8 away. No,
Race,
come on,
race.
Frankie.
3 pips up. Some market losing sequences here, and a lone checker that can never anchor. I double.
It's not even an easy
Frank
take.
doubles. I think this is a take, but it's no bargain. Is that right? Yeah, it's a take.
Oh, it's a tiny double.
It's a double and it's a take.
Tiny double.
You going to take? He takes. Excellent. It's always more fun when the cube's in play.
Yeah.
Oh, double 4. Makes 2 points and thinks about the other one.
That. And
10 to 6.
Maybe just leave the extra shot.
What he's thinking. Got to make the extra point because he wants.
I would maybe.
Well,
down.
the checker on the 10 point is not acting on the 3 point, and it needs to act on the 3 point.
Yeah, okay. So
This is
doesn't make
3-5, 3-6.
But you have returns.
That's not a lot, actually. I quite like this.
Well, that
Again, once you've cubed, you can only win with the checkers. Right, so here he's reduced the number of point-making rolls. Again, it's not going to be huge. 1-4, so he can safety the checker on the 11 point, so that's one.
It's important to come in there.
Yeah, coming in, not coming in would have been a disaster.
And safety.
Oh,
that does that
makes the 5 point if he wants, the 3 point if he wants to.
Play this.
So you come in and whack loose for the gammon. Given that black has so many checkers in the outfield, letting him play here doesn't look right. Yeah, that's my play. So I think this is the right play. Yeah.
That must be his play. But I don't know yet.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Oh, he's made the play. Let's see what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he needs an ace desperately here. Doesn't get it. He's going to have about one more roll to get an ace. Yeah. 4-2.
Force.
Slotting
A force play.
Yeah. Oh, the 1.
And then
The 1 is okay.
Surely 7 to 3.
I think he can't afford a second blot here, so pure backgammon goes out the window while you're trying to rescue yourself. Anything with a 6 and an entering number is very good. 3, 2, 2.
Just up, maybe.
3 up, so
Sixes
or
and
3's
ones.
3 down.
Yes.
He's gone for the big play.
Okay.
So is that too big because he can be 6s are duplicated. 4-1 makes the point. So black is scrambling. So far still alive. 4. Oh, what a perfect number. 4-3.
Sure, but he's
He's
got
still
some
got
crackers.
trouble. Oh, he's got to so double 6 for black. He's got to make the ace point and keep the block.
Yeah, of course he's going to do that, surely.
If he brings, well, you can also keep the block by bringing the other 2 down,
No,
and
you
which
need,
saves
you need
him.
those checkers to extend the mini prime. You just have to.
It also stops 5-4 being makes 5-4 a prime cracking number,
And 6-3.
and
would
6-3 as well. So he mustn't do this.
Is
This
not,
is wrong. This is a long way wrong, I think.
This is his first
Um,
mistake.
Where's my water?
It's a big mistake.
2%.
It's a big
2%.
mistake.
It's a 2%.
I've got
it's
like
a 2%.
an unopened water,
Yeah, that will do.
unless you want to risk.
Right.
What
So
But he
okay,
did it- he
he's
did
made
it
the right play. Good. Well played, Ofir.
So is that how many crackers here? Like about 12?
That's one of them.
More.
Maybe he did them.
Hang on. Oh, this is one. So you just have to.
You lift.
No, it's purely. We're not going to have any silly plays here, are we?
You just lift.
You got to lift.
Because then
This
you
is not the time for a.
This is no question.
Yeah.
Will he do it?
Ooh, that's ugly. 5 and 3. Ooh, I hate these
Well,
plays.
one block rather than
one
two.
one block rather than 2. And you playing 6 to 1, 6 to 3 doesn't
Unless
really
you
look
wanna-
that good.
You want to, unless you want to clear the 8, but then that gives him good 4s and stuff.
Well, that's a 1. That's a shot anyway.
Yeah,
No, this can't be right.
I don't think so, but
Sometimes these plays are right, but I mean that just looks so ugly. That's duplication for
for me, if I'm
I'm
Frank
playing
and he
one
leaves
block.
me as 2 blocks,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I know it doesn't duplicate the 5s, but it could. I mean, clearing the 6, could that ever be right?
Well, it could be
This
right.
can
and
be right.
occasionally you can find these things, but now what does he do next time? That's the problem. When you make these plays,
Right.
you have to think about being hit, but you also have to think about what happens when
look
you're
at
not hit.
If he comes down, 4-2 is not great.
Well, he's going to be hit.
Double fours will
Yeah.
will leave a shot,
Yeah.
and this way it still leaves a shot. But now he's got no 6 points, so must make sense to just keep the prime. So this way you keep the prime.
Yeah. I think this is right. Please tell me it's right.
It is right.
It is
It's
right.
right.
Good play. Okay, so now he's going to hit
You
with the
see-
4-3.
you
So
see,
keeping the prime is important.
It's a shitty 4,
Yeah.
and you know, and you still got 3 men behind a broken 4 prime.
Okay, now he needs another 1. Hey, this is a man who can do 1-6 from the bar.
1-6
Oh.
as well, and this
Oh,
when
wow.
a fan is like something,
5-6, 4-6, double 5.
but a fan is What's the
one
cube
six.
action now? This has got to be a...
You want to know?
Yeah.
No.
Let's work it out.
Well,
Yeah.
This
So
is
he's
what I
rolling.
know.
this is
Yeah.
never too good.
It's never too good, and I don't think he wants to make the 10 point because then he has trouble clearing it.
Right.
So
Well,
this
what's the
is 6
alternative?
and 2, because even now double
this-
4 doesn't hit.
this
Now he,
better?
after this play, right, depending on, unless he rolls a 5, something that's really quite good, 4-1 he's going to come up to the 5 point.
And now what's the cube
This
action
is close.
here?
Yeah, you've still got, because there's still a gap there.
He's not even going to think.
Yeah, no, he's going to think. He is going to think.
I mean, it
I think
must
this is
be a
quite,
double.
but the structure is, I would smooth the structure, I have to say. I may be wrong.
How good does it have to be?
Oh, 1,
It's a huge blunder
Ooh.
not to double.
is it?
Yeah.
Hmm,
Are you taking? I don't know.
1, this is forced. There's only
Well,
one.
no, it's not forced. I
Is
mean,
it?
you can leave the
Yeah.
7 shot.
No,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
see
no,
this.
yeah,
I didn't see
yeah,
this.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
So if he rolls like an ace is like one of
One.
the best, isn't it?
Ooh. And then double ace, now he makes the 1 point.
And still this is a like
This is like a back game, but
this
you
is a pass.
think?
I think
You want to know?
Yeah.
with the made ace point and
It's a double. Is it a take? I think it's a take
You
because,
didn't double before, you will double this.
yeah. Should he have doubled before? What was the error
Yeah,
before?
no,
Yeah.
how big?
There was a redouble take
it was
last
still
time.
a take.
And this now he's
Now these funny when people play
Right.
on and they end up like
Yeah.
winning a lucky gammon, but I think he has to cube it.
I think you don't have to double this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, maybe not after the double
Yeah,
three.
okay.
What do you
I think you cube this.
I think probably yes. 6-1.
How many get
5-1.
you don't win
4-1.
enough gammons.
6-2,
2,
6-2,
4,
5-2. That's
6,
10
8,
shots.
9. He's got White's only got 10 crossovers
Obviously it's a
to save the
monster
gammon.
pass.
Yeah.
No, it's too good.
Is it too good? By much?
Yep.
1%. So
Oh dear.
the position that tournament players often get wrong, because they think in money terms when they're playing tournament matches, they forget that you can be too good to double. That happens so often.
Yeah, it might have
Uh,
something to do with the score though.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, was he leading 5-3?
He was leading 4-3, so he's now leading 6-3.
Right. So a gammon would have taken him to 8-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ideally, you should sit there and crunch the numbers, and again, you have time to do that if you haven't used much time on your clock.
Well, he's got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got loads of time.
So, most doubling decisions are made without a great deal of calculation. They're based on past experience and the model of the game that you have.
This is okay, I suppose. He's leading. I wouldn't slot here. He's leading 6-3. Just maybe not. I don't mind coming up because there's a man on the 15 that you
I would
kind
come
of
down. I would do
challenging.
this.
Okay, this is
I think
obviously
there's
fine.
no excitement early on here. 4-3.
Safe.
Ooh,
Safe.
ugly. Yeah, you just say safety the man on the 10 point.
No, you just safety it.
Oh.
No.
That's inviting an attack. When you have a single back checker, which is not in danger of being entrapped.
No, it's the
that's
right
where-
play.
Is it? Okay, there you go. Wrong again.
Maybe,
Yeah, big.
This is not big, but
No.
but your play is better.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you come out or do you come down?
I just made 15 to 8. Sorry. 6-1 is okay. Right. So. Ooh, he's
must
not
come
rolling
out.
well. He's just going to come out with 5-1. You
All the
giving a
way.
3 to hit rather than 2 3s and 4s is correct. He's also got some combinations: 6-3, 5-4, 6-4, double 3. 5-1 is no good.
Maybe this.
Maybe this to provoke some action. Could be close to slotting 2 points. So far behind. Ooh, 2-5, 5-2.
Well,
So
you-
is white has a 5-2 to play.
well, you make the 11. That's
yeah,
the first thing
yeah,
you do. And I would play this.
I think, yeah, I think.
So you get the checker closer.
Yeah,
to
and it
home.
duplicates the 3s as well. 3 to hit, 3 to cover. Three two, good number. So hits and covers, and now black is in the ascendancy.
That's painful for Frank. That is a
Yeah.
really great number.
He's
And like some
He's
bad entry numbers.
4-5.
It has to come out. And he's got like 20 something, 26 shots on
what's the
him.
race? 7 pip brace, leading 6-3.
You could never double this, but I think.
I don't think he'll double this.
But
I wouldn't double this position.
why is? Oh, he didn't offer didn't press his clock like go before.
Right.
But what I'm saying is he's got a lot of shots.
He's got a lot of shots, but
He's
they're not wipeouts unless it's a double. And he's oh, he has hit. Sorry, 6 and 6 to 5. Yep.
And this.
Okay, now White really needs to perform here. 4-5, 4-5-3-6, or a double. Double 4. That's interesting.
That makes the bar.
It makes the bar or makes the 4 point. Sometimes in these positions you want to make an inner board point just to have a little bit of inner point strength.
Maybe.
Yeah, but now you see, I don't like this. I would have made the 4 point, but I could be wrong. What do we think?
They are close. No, this is sorry.
Okay, 3-6, 6.
Do you come out?
I can't hit. Wow.
I think you have to come out.
This is the other play, actually. Yeah, no.
Yeah, but now you just get.
So you either make the 3 point, hoping that
you do this, and you can't.
This way you maintain the pressure on the block.
So you have if he hits the man on the 16, you have sixes and 4s to hit back.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
No, I think this is right because you still leave the man back, and you leave millions of shots.
Ooh, that was a difficult play which warranted more discussion.
It was actually making the 3 point, and he should have doubled.
Ooh. Okay. Wright has rolled another bad number. The question is, does he have? If he hits, he's not really taking a tempo away because he has no board, but he hits.
So is he cubing and is he taking if he cubes?
Yeah, good cube. We like the cube. Normally these things are takes because he's only got a 2 point board, but he drops.
But
what's the answer?
Think about it. It looks like a pass.
Yeah, it's a take. Yeah, quite often positions that look like a drop aren't a drop if you've got a man on the bar.
But he just didn't think.
He didn't think.
Like,
yeah. You know, you should follow Moshi's rule. Moshi has a fundamental rule when he plays backgammon that he takes 12 seconds minimum over any doubling decision, irrespective of how trivial it is. That forces him to stop and think. And everyone should follow the Moshi rule.
My guess is there are some players that just don't like. They just don't like to think.
You can play backgammon and automatic, but you can't play great backgammon and automatic.
This makes the bar, but it's 4 away, 8 away, which is an interesting score. So
now, a gammon for Ofir wins the match.
I would make the bar.
I would make the bar. Yeah, your opponent's got a 5 point asset. You need an asset. Yeah, the alternative is to come down and split, actually, which isn't that bad. Yeah, because making the bar, they're all scrunched up. What's our little friend like? I don't mind this play. I'm happy with this play.
No, it's not good.
What happened? He didn't like it. Make the bar? Make the bar. But XG like making the bar. So for all the other discussion, he's now been hit twice. And he's fanned. And White's going to double.
Is it a take?
At this score? I'm taking for money, but he's dropping. Yeah. Take?
Doesn't even give it a second thought.
Yeah.
Doesn't give
small error to drop. I think for money you'd find that was a big take. You can't play backgammon by making doubling decisions in half a second. It doesn't work because you get them wrong. Yeah. I played a match against Moshi a couple of days ago in the main tournament, and we had a really difficult doubling decision. We had 18 minutes on the clock. He took 6 of them to think about that doubling decision. He got it right and everybody else got it wrong, including me. So, lesson learned, take your time. This is a great roll. This is where you make the 5 point, you make your own bar point and you split, right, which is correct. I've seen that so many times. That's all right. 3-2, so we're now into another high anchor game. So with a 5, he'll run to the midpoint. With a 6, he'll make his opponent, it's a 6. So we now got a mutual bar point holding game. This will depend on who can roll a decent double. Not too much skill in this. Yeah, so 4 and 1. Yeah, it's got a bad 6-1, but that's life. Okay, now I would clear the midpoint, which is correct. Yeah, it's wrong to hold on to the midpoint for too long, hoping to roll a 5 on something. You're much better off giving yourself the flexibility to move checkers for another 15 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is. I would not make 2 points here. I'd just play 13 to 8. You do not want to give your opponent a gratuitous ace shot to get off. This is wrong. I don't do this. I always. Now he's got two options. Not in this particular case.
Okay.
13 to 8 is correct. Yeah.
What did he play?
He plays 6 to 4.
11-5, 6-2.
11-5, 6-2. Yeah. So he's now remade the point. So we're back to where we were earlier.
He just needs a big double.
He needs. One of these guys is going to roll a double. So other than that, you make in a board points. So he's going to make slot, make slot, make slot.
Yeah,
So here we go.
Yeah. How do you play a 6-1 and stuff like that?
4-2. Now again, it's just ugly.
Make the deuce, maybe? Or you play
No,
11-5?
what are you going to do next time? I clear the 8 point because black has got to roll as well.
But then you lose a land.
But now fours.
This dupes the 4. This could be fine. I think I do that.
You do that.
This is horrid.
I'm clearing the 8 point. What's alright? What does XG like? We'll find out in a minute. He's played 11 to 5.
I know. XG likes that.
What does he like?
The 2 point.
The 2 point. Just keeping everything. Okay, so how many of these sixes has he played?
Wait, so he's got like a...
Yeah, he's been, okay,
A
so
very strong 3, he's not-
ooh, I think here, black's, you've got a good home board. You're trailing 4-7.
Yeah.
There's a few gammon
Certainly
chances.
could be. It's
For money, I'd think a lot longer, but here,
Yeah, well, he's trailing as well.
yeah, he's trailing 4-7.
And even if he doesn't roll a 3...
Even if he doesn't roll a 3, black has to bring 2 checkers home a distance of 24 pips.
And he's got a blot on the 3 and he's got 2 devils
Yeah,
on the deuce.
yeah, I'm doubling.
Okay.
I'm not even sure I'm taking at this score.
It's a big...
It's ugly. Okay, so 3 point board versus 4 point board. The race I've been in.
It's not. It's a no double pass. No, it wasn't even a double. So
What,
he
was it
just
double?
bluffed him. No.
No double take.
No.
No double take was the correct action there.
It was the old no double pass.
Yeah. That's affected his Ofir's PR, presumably.
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
like-
He still played pretty well. He's up
No,
to
this
7 now.
is
Okay.
really
That
take
double?
really
Yeah, it was like
is
400 or
really
something.
given.
Okay.
300.
Yeah. So when you play backgammon, you want to avoid blunders. Yeah. If you just make errors, that's fine.
Yeah,
If
that's
you make-
very true.
if you
Like,
make-
not
if you-
spend ages on
Yeah.
like trivial plays. but
If you
it's
make
easy
2 or
said
3
than done.
blunders in a
Yeah.
match, your PR gets blown to pieces. So
Exactly.
The top players do not make many blunders.
Okay, that's beautiful. We love that structure.
Yeah.
Frank.
So
He needs a double ace or a double
Yeah.
3.
4,
That
5,
will
you've
do,
got to
I
hit.
suppose.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
probably nothing.
Not a double yet. If he hits, it might. Ooh, he hits.
Oh,
Okay.
this is very strong.
Frank comes back.
This is going to be something.
Ooh, that's ugly. Duplicate 4s. Ooh, hang on. That was so quick.
This is
Hey,
still probably
Simon and I
not-
are trying to discuss plays, and these guys are playing so fast.
You make the 20. It was a double. It was a double,
Yeah?
actually. I was about to say it wasn't, but I was...
Double
If that was a
2.
double,
I think
and he's improved,
yeah.
but Ofir's improved, this is probably a double. This must be a double.
He's only got 2, 4, 7, 9 checkers
But
in the
he's got-
attack zone.
he's
Black
got-
has an anchor and
yeah, but
good
he's got
structure.
some very good 6-3, 5-4 and double 3.
Oh, that's a market losing roll. 4-2 making the 4 point.
Yeah,
This game is over unless he
Right.
decides to play on or he rolls 2-6
Frank
or
has to-
double 1 or
to
2-1.
double this stuff.
So it's over.
Way too good.
Too
Will
good?
he play on? Yeah.
There's very few sequences where black can take next time.
I mean, even when the man's not in the air, it's like a big pass.
You roll something that makes a bar. I mean, white will only improve slowly from here.
Yeah, but you want to win 2 points rather than one.
Yeah, he's playing on. Ooh,
Two
it's
down.
not as pretty as it could be.
Two down.
Well, if you're playing for the gammon, you play 2 down.
Well, there's nothing
Yeah.
else. You can't leave the anchor, and you
Yeah.
don't want to bring it in. So
2-4. It's getting worse.
right. So he's just
So
looking for
yeah,
a 5.
now
or
he's definitely going to play
he's
on.
going to hit with a 6, not make that. No, this
He's
is
got options. He can hit. He can make the prime. If he makes the prime, black's position up front will very quickly go sour. You could end up picking up another checker.
that's true.
Maybe he's
But I think it
rolling
hits.
like a man slightly worried who didn't
You've
double
gotta play
because
on.
that it wasn't good enough
You've
last
gotta
time.
Play on. You've got to
Four.
play on. I suppose.
I think this is reasonable.
Right.
Well, you want to attack the blot on the 2 point.
He rolls an ace.
Oh, double aces. So
Now it's clearly not a play on.
no, it's not that clear.
It's definitely not a play on,
I would double this now.
but it's probably a pass.
You don't want to end up rolling double 4 or
Probably a
4-2.
pass.
I think this is a pass, but
I mean, why would you take this? On what basis? He can just escape. He can just run with impunity.
yeah. He does pass, which is correct. Where are we? 7-6. So we're basically in a 5-point match here, and it looks like we're breaking. One of our players is a smoker. We won't give the name away, but has to pop out every so often.
And Carter's massage is
Massage
overrun.
has gone on.
It's overrun.
All right. basically losing or winning 1-0 in a 5-point match. So anything could happen in the next half hour, as they used to say on Thunderbirds. So, okay. 5-2 can hit on the ace point. Partly it's a matter of style. 6-3 is easy. One of the reasons you hit with the 5 here is if your opponent has bad 6s, which after that particular sequence he does. So your opponent has an advanced anchor, so you should have an advanced anchor. He can make his 5-point later. So again, we're going to have another of these games, mutual holding point games. You do not slot here. You've got plenty of builders, so but he's going to slot. Okay, not my style. I learnt a long time ago, you just sit and wait for the big doubles. So he's hit the outside block, and now he's ahead in the race. So now I would make the 5-point. Okay. So we no longer have a mutual holding point game, and particularly as the leader, you really don't want to play a complicated match. And the 4 is going to be awkward whatever he does, so he might as well hit. Any other number gives black his full roll. Sorry, any other play gives black his full roll. So this is a diversionary tactic as much as anything else. Two 6 hits twice. Okay, so his play has worked out really well for him, that 2-1 play. It was a small error, but in backgammon you also have to be a little bit lucky occasionally. So now he should at least look at this. Oh, he's looked at it for 5 seconds and he's doubled. So the race is, he's winning by 18 pips. He has race, threat and position here. And he's passed, as he has passed any double that is anywhere a difficult decision. Was it correct? That probably was a correct pass, was it? Yeah. White had nothing going for him there at all, so fair enough. And also Gammon would have given black the match, so that was a very wise pass. So 4-3 for black. So here again, you're leading. You should not be playing for complications. So you play 4-3 as he has done if you're losing, but not if you're winning. So 5-2 here should come up with the 2 and attack the checker. Yeah, this is. Yeah. There are only about 600 possible 2-roll combinations for the first 2 moves. So even if you don't know all of them, you should at least know the principles of all of them. Unfortunately, when it gets to 3 moves, you're up to about 30,000, so nobody knows all of those, so you have to play on general principles a lot of the time. So
Thomas,
now, yeah.
Thomas Stenland and Mislav, they are really good on the 3rd row
Yeah.
positions.
Yeah.
They know most of them.
Yeah. So you should sometimes just play 2 hours of what we call BG3. You play the first 3 moves of every game, or BG7, and that way you get an understanding of how games evolve. You don't have to finish every game if you're in training mode. Okay, so now classic, another holding game position. 3-1 is, that looks ugly. Yeah, 3-1, so he's made the 9-point. He's duplicated aces to hit. Mild duplication of 6s. 3-1. We have the Moshi quiz going on here, so I'm on my own for this last leg of this semi-final. Everyone else has gone out to find out how good or bad they are at backgammon. Okay, 4-2, excellent. Made his point. Okay, so 6-2 here, he should come out and safety the block. Okay, white needs 6 or preferably a 6, because with the 1 he has to give up the 8 point to... and he's missed completely, which is not great, so he just comes in. Again, this is not yet a cube. There's no threat to win the game. And 6-4 is okay, so now you're going to see black play completely safe until he can't play safe yet again. Same tactic. So, and white will So the theory is slot cover until you've got your home board made, and then work out what to do after that. 4-3, he's just going to play this 13 to 6. There's no other safe play. You don't take risks here. You don't need to take risks. You're winning, marginally winning the game. Okay, so another point made. Black really needs a safe number here, which he has not got. So now you have to think about how to play the 5-2. So I think, oh sorry, I completely missed that he can play safely off the 8 point. And sorry, this is 7s and 10s. So it's all 7s and 10s, so that's 6 numbers, but this looks right to me. Sorry, the complete misanalysis there. 4-2. Slot the bar, or slot the 2 point. It's going to be close. Again, still no double. Black's structure is pretty ugly at this point in time. 4-1 is a great roll, makes the bar point, so now he's got a landing point. Still a long way from a double. He needs a 5 point, or one of the other points in board. This is a classic holding game. Double 1, double 3 would be his best numbers. 6-1 would be very ugly, which is what he's just rolled as a cock number. 6-2, even I can't see a way to play this safe. This is really ugly. Okay, this is why obviously it was no double before. Now any ace by white, he can only afford to have one blot here, and he's the only play that leaves one blot is this. Okay, this is not a double. You need to hit first, because if you don't hit, you're not a favourite. He has hit. Now you think about the 3. The 2 checkers in his outfield are well placed, so he should just come up. That's correct. And if black fans, he's going to double. Even if some entering numbers are ugly. 1, 3. This is a double, I think. He's got great outfield coverage. 10s and 11s hit. If black doesn't roll a 6 next time, he's got some crunching numbers and a really ugly structure. So I would be doubling this. Did he miss a double? Yeah, XG says he missed a double there, so that's fine. Now he's got great outfield coverage, and the question is how long he's going to wait before he actually doubles. 6-2, and again, he either crunches his board or runs into a triple shot. I don't think it matters what he does. He's going to drop the double because he loses a lot of gammons when he gets hit, because he has 6 outfield checkers, which means he needs 10 crossovers to save the gammon, and white may well have 5 checkers off by then. Here's the cube, and this is going to be a drop. He's dropped. Yep. Okay, so what's that, 8-7? We are creeping towards. Do you know what's happened in the other semi-final?
Lars won.
Yeah, so in the other semi-final, Lars Travel of Denmark has triumphed. So he will play the winner of this match for a place in the grand final tomorrow afternoon, which is at 2 p.m. Our time, 1 p.m. Europe, midday UK, and 7 a.m. US.
They will play this final, second chance, 9 o'clock.
So 9 o'clock tonight, our time, for the second chance final. So you may get the benefit of my commentary again, or we may have replaced me. We'll just have to see. Did you get that? 6-2. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so again, not much happening here. 4-2, no safe play, make the 4 point. That would have been out and down. 6-1 makes the bar. Okay. Nothing in this at the moment. Balanced position. So 4-1. He can't play it safe, so this is the right idea. So now if he gets hit, the black at least has to give up the midpoint to hit. He probably will hit because there's no, he's got the choice of coming out to the bar, but in this situation with your opponent only having a 2 point board, then hitting is correct. Double 4, hits, points, and thinks about the 4th one. That stack of 5 checkers on the midpoint's looking underused to me. So despite the fact that it's a 2 rather than an odd number that he's come up, I prefer the slightly more aggressive play here. Oh, he's fanned. So now you've got a double. At this score, a gammon wins the match for white. You've absolutely got to double this. And this is going to be passed. Even if it's a take, he's going to be passed. Just go back like 4-1. Blunder. Sorry, we better go back. Right, 8-all, 3-point match. Okay, so any score, particularly when you get near the end of a match, you need to know what the correct doubling decision is at that score, so you can A, make the right decision, but adjust your play accordingly. So at a 3-point match, 0-0, the correct action is both to double earlier than usual and drop earlier than usual. It's purely a matter of how the percentages work out. So this is a 5-4. He's probably going to hit with the 4 and think about the 5. Is he really going to do this? That is no structure whatsoever. I prefer this 4. So he's going to play the double tiger play. The other alternative was to run the man off the midpoint with the 5, and again I would want more time to think about this. It's worked out quite well. Now you should think about the cube here. It's no way a cube in a money game, but you should certainly think about the cube here. Now he's just a 6 and a 2, and if he doesn't roll an ace or a 5, this game is over. He's rolled an ace, probably enough to keep the game alive. Six makes the 9 or the 16 point.
3-6.
Yeah, 3-6. Double 3. So white is now well back in the game. So the race is quite close. So
After the roll, 5.
I prefer he's looking at making the 3 point. I might make the 5 point 3 times. 6-3, a hit. Double 3. Yeah. Okay, 2-6. Okay, so now he's going to slot the bar. He should keep the rear checkers at the rear for the time being until he knows where they want to go. I think this is wrong. I would play to the bar and try to make more points. But yeah, sorry, I was right there and he was wrong, so 1 for me. 6-2. This looks like he's going to hit. Yeah. So, and again, white needs to roll relatively well here. Double 5 is definitely a very good number. 1, 2, and I think this is just going to go all the way to the 8 point, unless, well, certainly he's going to the midpoint. Then he wants to think about the other one. And the race is really close. So I think giving no returns is correct here. 4 and 1, I think you just come up all the way. Again, the race is still close. And again, I mentioned earlier, your checkers are an army, you want them in communication, which they clearly are here. 6-2, he's going to hit. Okay. And again, the 5 puts black in good order. That's a great number, in and out. So now he has the edge here. Now white was wishing he hadn't moved that checker from the back earlier. He's got it back. So now he should not move it up for a long time. 4-1. Okay, that's okay. Just play safe. Again, we're back into black playing safe, white building points. This is a relatively easy part of the game. Should probably release the checker, the spare checker on the 20 point here because it's not doing anything and the other 6 takes it too deep. This is a bit exotic. He could make the point. There's probably not a lot of difference between that and if he does get hit he could make the anchor, so actually that's quite good. There is no safe play here. 6. So he hits twice, which is sensible. So is he going to pay for that? Oh, 4-1 now. Now he's going to be doubled. At this score, this must be a double. Okay, white might get a shot at some point. But I think it's a double. I think he should double. Based on the prior experience, even if it isn't a double, which I doubt, Frank is going to drop this because he won't want to put the game on the line here. Yeah, here comes the double. So he takes. So you should drop early, take early at this score. Does it say no double? It is a take, okay. By lots? By much? So he's in with one checker. So 5-2, this looks like he clears the 16 point. I guess black has still a lot of work to do to win the position and white had an anchor, so probably a misjudgment by me. Here we go, 5-2, perfect number. Now the game could get exciting, but if black rolls well, he will win a gammon. If he manages to pick up either of these checkers, okay, 4-6 is forced, any other 6 leaves way too many shots. 1 or a 3 or a 10 has got the 1, has to think about the 4. Okay, there's an argument for coming out with the 4 there to get the checkers working.
Sorry.
4. When you have lots of blots and your opponent's on the bar, the checkers protect themselves to a certain extent because if they get hit, you get return hits as well. With white having a 3-point, black having a 3-point board, I think this play would be close anyway. 4-6 is a hit, so now black is back in the driving seat.
This is what your play was.
Yeah,
the
one out.
One
Yeah,
out.
okay.
It's just too many checkers.
Yeah. So now he needs to come in on the 3 and think about the 5. So if he comes out with the 5, he leaves 5s, 3s and 1s and 5s and 3s to hit on the 3 points. So I think you've got to come out here. You need the checkers to work, you need it to be hit, recycled with the potential of making a second inner board point. 6-2, that looks ugly. There is no safe play. That is really ugly. Oh, sorry, you can make the 9 point. So he's going to have to make the 9 point. There is an ultra safe play of clearing the 8 point. I don't like ultra safe play. He's got a lot of work to do to bring this home. I don't like this play. Now how are you going to get all those checkers home? You're going to leave a shot at some point. Much better to keep the structure and no. What? So he's looking at the hitting play, but now he has 2 or 3 blots exposed, and again the gammon possibility swings back to white. The gammon is absolutely damaging. I can't remember the right word. Yeah. So I think this is the right play. So it's minimal risk.
This is the play.
Yeah. So the commentator got it right. The player got it right. Excellent. So oh, double 6. Is that good? Well, he's going to make the 2 point. Okay. 2-3. Oh, can he come out? Not sure about the 4th one because he still has all those checkers trapped, but equally well he doesn't want to be hit twice, but only double 4 hits twice. So I'd take a long time thinking about that one. Sorry, which is one?
Coming out with 2 is the play.
Yeah, okay. So again, you learn when you've got lots of checkers back behind a structure.
Eagles connectivity.
What happened?
Connectivity.
Yeah. So whose role is it here? What's happening?
I think.
Oh, he's got the cube.
And,
oh. Well, you've only got 1 cover number. You've got 4 checkers to get home, and you can still lose your own gammon. And if you cover, then you play for your own gammon. So the cube does not have full value here. So he's redoubling to 4. this is no redouble take. If he drops this, this would be a massive error. Yeah. Yeah. Even double 4 is horrible. Look at double 4 for white. Whenever there are lots of checkers trapped behind a prime, oh sorry, he's got me. Matte's kindly pointed out to me he can move the checker on the 22 point. So this is the difference between playing online backgammon that doesn't matter, or with your friends, and playing in a major tournament. Ofir now faces an absolutely crucial decision as to whether to take, and he's dropped. So that was no redouble. So he didn't want to put the match on the line, which is an eminently human failing, right? But unfortunately, you have to play the position as it is in front of you. So
now they go to Crawford.
Now they go to Crawford, and he has to win 2 games. So he has to win one. It's basically 25% only to win from here. And he had, in the position that he's just dropped, gammons didn't count with a cube on 4, so all he had to do was win more than 25%, and he was way favourite to win more than 25%. So that was a really bad decision. Five two. Right, if you're going to hit once, you're going to hit twice. The other option is to run away. But again, for Frank, losing a gammon here is irrelevant. You mustn't lose a backgammon. But opponent's got the better board. I think I just run 23-16 here, but a chouette partner might talk me into hitting twice. The trouble is, where do you go from there? The problem with this is has he got a spare checker? He still has a spare checker on the 8 points, so it might be okay. It obviously takes time away from Ofir, but now, yeah, 2-1. Was that okay, the double hit? Yeah, okay. That was it. When you're not sure, be aggressive. Okay, so 4-3. Okay, so now as the leader, this is great, because he has an advanced anchor. Right, so he just leaves that there forever, while he works out what else to do. Now you can run the back checker, or 4-3 is an ugly roll. So 4 is good. Again, he can play this big because losing a gammon is not important. But probably 13-6 was still correct. So now that's going to force Ofir to make the 22 point. Frank has 10 checkers in the attack zone, so a bit of common sense is applied. Double 5. Ooh, it's not that easy. So he can run the back checker and worry about the other 2. He can make the ace point. He can 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he be ahead in the race? Yeah. After the roll. Wow, this is not easy. 3, 4. That's only a single. I keep the anchor here as well. I think it's too early to give up the anchor and run the other 2 out, especially with 2 vulnerable blocks. And this looks like a sensible play. 5-3. Is now I would bring the second checker down here. Yeah, he's not going to hit with many 6s, and you want that checker in play to make the bar point potentially. Ooh. So now he can hit and cover. 6-2 is a great number. At some point he has to come off that anchor, so yeah, he's going to hit. When in doubt, hit. So a return hitting number, that is a return hitting number. Okay. So now, Frank hits from the bar, he's looking good. If he fans, he's in danger. He's halfway house. So he's come in and safetied the block that was under direct threat. So 4s, 7s and 9s are good. 4, he's just going to make the 4 point. Yep. Okay, easy. It's an easy game, backgammon. You only got to play it for 30 years before you become good. 6-5, great number. Now, Ofir needs a 7 or a 9. 10. Okay, so he is way behind. Way behind in the race, so I don't like making the... actually, got to look at making the midpoint, the bar. So he's either going to slot the 2 point and come down with a 4. That's wrong. That's definitely wrong. No, you've got to start new points. He was so far behind, I'm not convinced that coming out to the bar was correct. What do we get? 6-1.
So here,
Yeah. What's my so? Yeah, okay.
not bad.
Because you run out of pressure, that's the problem. So here now he's in great difficulty. 6-1. Yeah. The alternative was to come out from the back, play a 3-point holding game, and not worry if you got hit on the bar point, which what does it like for the 6-1 was okay? Yeah, okay. Alright, so he desperately would like a 1 here, I think, although he really doesn't have the timing. He's got to come in and out. He's got to keep the timing, he's got to keep his prime. That is a wonderful royal. So now black is in severe danger of crunching his board before he gets anything that looks like a shot. So 2, 5. Right. So most of the time here, what Frank should let Ofir play. He wants him to crack his board. No, 2 sets of cocked dice. 5-2, what a choice. You can either make the 2 point and potentially give black his timing, or you clear one man, or you hit loose. You don't even mind hitting loose here. Again, I would look longer. These guys are able to make rapid decisions. I don't think he's got the timing. No, I don't like this. He hasn't got the timing for this game. No, don't break your board. That's the only thing that will win you the game. So potentially he could come up to the 23 points, so he can play a 6. Now if he plays a 6 next time, I mean, black's position is hanging by a thread here. He could make the 22 point here actually, because now if he gets a 6 then he can play a 2 point holding game rather than a 3 point holding game. What do we get? 4-1. So now 1. Do you want to be hit with a 6? You either come down or come in. I come in. Yeah. 24. Yeah, that was okay. Right. So it desperately needs a 6. Desperately needs a 6. 5-3 is horrible. Yeah. So now he's going to have at least one. So now he's killed his 5s with that play. Now he can afford to play 13 to 9 because it's difficult to lose. He's still playing safe backgammon. I don't know whether you want to be hit. I mean, trying to win a single game, it's not as important. What did he roll? 5-2. Okay. So he's quite clever the last time to kill his 5s. Yeah. So looks reasonable. So this is a really badly timed 2-3 back game, so it's not going to win that often. He desperately needs a 6. Oh, cocks the 6. Okay, 3, and again you should, yeah, he's got to try and win the game, not just save stuff. So leaving the blot on the 5 point, I think, is correct. 6-5, pretty much forced. It was it was forced basically. Was forced. 5-2. Yeah. So hoping to be able to use the blot on the 5 point to make a point again in this home board. Needs another 6-5. So the 5 is forced. No choice. I don't see any advantage. I think he should just clear the 6 point here. Yeah. So he needs to get a checker out. Well, he's got one halfway, but you know, he can't afford to give up another inner board point, so this is the right play. And he has to rely on a rather odd 2 point game. No, now he's never going to win the game. You can't do this. Because you've got to do something next time. You could crunch again. And if you play the 3 out, then some of Frank's 5s are bad. 5-6 is horrendous. This must be right. So 6-5 leaves a quadruple shot. 5-4 points. What? What? Made a single. He's kept his blots down to 1. I'm not wholly convinced by that play, I'm afraid. And he's fanned. I presume with 5-4 making the point was correct. Oh. He's only got a 4, no 5. Yeah. Okay. So again, 6-1, 6-5, 2-5, not 5-4 then. So now he's going to be wholly reliant on a 2 point game with a busted board. So he's probably down. That's a shot. Oh no, it isn't. Sorry. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, one of them's going from the 5 point to the 1 point. Yeah. Okay. So he's probably down to about 4% wins, I would guess, from here. He's still on the bar. Sorry, forgotten he was still on the bar. 6-5. Okay, so 5. Now you still need to think in these positions, trying to get your checkers round in the right position, but this is... oh, double 5. Okay, so Frank is 1 roll away from the final of the fighters bracket. Anything without a 1 and this game is over. Yeah. And here we go. This could be it. Ah, a shot has rung out late. Can he get an ace and give us some excitement? He can't. He should stay because he might roll double 1. And that way he can hit and then pick up a second checker, but the chances are somewhat remote. 6-1 and it's all over. Okay, so that whole match rested on the cube decision at the end of the previous game at 8-all, where Frank made a no double, a redouble, but Ofir chickened out and dropped the redouble, and that basically cost him the match. Okay, he could have lost anyway, but that was a terrible decision. So unlucky. He played really well for most of the match, but he made 2 crucial cube errors. And when you play backgammon, that's what you find. You analyse your match, you think you played really well, and then you found you made 2 crucial cube errors. And that's why people's PRs, on average, don't get very low, because you get punished by Extreme Gammon for making those cube blunders. So thank you very much for listening. We'll be back at 9 p.m. Cyprus time with the final of the fighters bracket.
That's in 2 hours.
In 2 hours' time. There you go. Enjoy dinner.